Welcome to our channel, friends. Here we don't just talk about money, we talk about people, about dreams, about how an ordinary life can turn into something truly extraordinary. Today I have a story for you that brings tears of pride and hope to many eyes. This is the story of a man who was born in a small town in Kansas, in the aftermath of the Great Depression, and became one of the richest private investors in America, while remaining completely humble, unnoticed, and true to his roots. His name is Stewart Horejsi. And believe me, this is no fairy tale. This is real life. Everything I'm about to tell you is taken only from open sources, rare interviews, articles in Forbes and Bloomberg, Berkshire Hathaway shareholder letters, books, and public statements by Stewart himself and Warren Buffett. There are no investment recommendations here, only inspiration and lessons that each of us can apply. Imagine 1938. The small town of Salina, Kansas. Dusty roads, the smell of freshly cut wheat, people who know the value of every cent. In this simple American heartland, Stewart was born. His grandfather had founded a small company, Brown Welding Supply, back in the early 20th century, supplying gas cylinders, welding rods, and equipment to farmers and mechanics who needed them to keep going. Nothing luxurious. Just honest work. Stewart grew up helping his parents. His father rose before dawn to load trucks in the cold, came home exhausted but with a proud smile. His mother kept the books by lamplight late into the night. The children, Stewart and his brothers and sisters, carried boxes after school, swept the warehouse, delivered orders. Money was scarce, but love and respect for hard work were abundant. It was there, in that modest family, that he learned the most important thing: honest work pays off. Slowly. But reliably. In 1956 Stewart left for the University of Kansas to study business administration. For the first time, he saw how the big world of finance worked. He returned in 1960 with a degree and immediately joined the family business. He got married, had children. Life seemed stable, a steady paycheck, church on Sundays, baseball with his sons. But deep inside there was a quiet longing: I want more. Not for myself, for them. So my children and grandchildren never know hardship. And then, in the late 1970s, he happened to pick up John Train's book, The Money Masters. He read it slowly, page by page, and something inside clicked. Benjamin Graham, John Templeton, and then, Warren Buffett. A young man from nearby Omaha who buys excellent companies at reasonable prices and holds them for decades. Our favorite holding period is forever, Buffett wrote. Those words Stewart remembered for the rest of his life. At that time the family business was already struggling. Large players like Airgas and Praxair were taking over the market, margins were shrinking. Stewart had saved about $10,000, every penny earned by sweat and blood. And in 1980, with trembling hands, he called his broker, buy 40 shares of Berkshire Hathaway at $265, $10,600. Almost everything he had. His wife looked at him with concern. He hugged her and said, "Trust me. This could become something big." The first years were a real test. Inflation was skyrocketing, interest rates soared, recession hit. The shares fell. Stewart couldn't sleep at night. What if I was wrong? What if I lose everything? But he held on. He recalled Buffett's letters, his calm certainty. And every time the business gave him an extra dollar, he bought more, averaging down. He believed. 1987, Black Monday. The market collapsed 22% in one day. Berkshire fell about 25%. The phone was ringing off the hook: "Stu, sell. While it's not too late." Fear gripped his throat. He closed his eyes, remembered his father who never gave up, remembered his children. And whispered to himself, "Be greedy when others are fearful." He didn't sell. He bought more. Later, when the market bounced back, tears of relief streamed down his face. The 1990s, the dot-com boom. Friends bragged about internet stocks that doubled in a week. Stewart felt the temptation. But he stayed faithful. When the bubble burst in 2000, those sure things vanished. Friends lost homes, retirements. Stewart cried with them. And his portfolio? It survived the storm, because it was built on real businesses. 2008, the Great Recession. The world seemed to be ending. Berkshire fell more than 40%. Stewart was already in his 70s. He had retired from daily business management, but continued to watch his investments. Sleepless nights. Did I let my family down? But he remembered every previous storm. And he bought more. He reached his peak, 5,800 shares. And then came 2026. Those very shares are now worth more than $4 billion. One Class A share, around $700,000. And Stewart still holds every single one. He never sold. Why? Because the compounding machine keeps working. 15 to 20% per year for decades. This isn't just money. This is freedom. This is the ability to send grandchildren to the best schools, to help his native Kansas, to live peacefully in the same house where he raised his children. Stewart still lives in Salina. He drives a modest car. Eats at local diners. Donates millions to education. For him, wealth isn't yachts and palaces. It's peace. It's the ability to say, I did this honestly. And I'm still the same guy from Kansas. The lessons he left us are simple and profound. Patience is not weakness, it is strength. Compounding is love that grows over time. Know what you invest in as well as you know your family. Don't listen to the noise. Markets fall, but America always rises. Live more modestly than you can afford, that's where true freedom lives. Give back, without it, success is empty. If right now you feel small, scared, or stuck, listen, Stewart was just like you. An ordinary guy from Kansas. One book. One decision. One lifetime of discipline. And a result that changed everything. In closing, I want to say a huge thank you to Stewart Horejsi. Thank you for your humility, for your rare openness, for sharing the principles of investing over decades through Buffett's letters, rare interviews, and, most importantly, through the example of your life. Without people like you, the world of investing would be far poorer in meaning and hope. If this story touched your heart, made you smile, or lit a spark inside, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.